Luminox Extravaganza here in the watch show continues with the Manta Ray. Check it out. It is another hard recommend. That means you should pause the video and purchase it immediately with my links below. I am not joshing you. I'm being serious. Their price is so incredibly low that perchance you would think this might be a fake Luminox. By the way, I've never seen such a thing. I've never seen a watch that wears a Luminox logo that isn't real. And I think the reason for that is because the prices on these are low enough where dude can afford it. They're going to go fake something expensive. An Omega, a Breitling, a Tag, a Rolex, an IWC, not a Luminox. I've never seen it. Maybe I've missed it. I've seen homages where they look like a Luminox, but they don't have the Luminox logo on them. That does happen here and there. In fact, I have one of those, and it's a pretty good watch. Not a genuine Luminox. But this Manta Ray series, fantastic. For the money, I think you're hard-pressed to beat it. For one, it has a metallic case, a rounded, melted, stainless steel case, not Carbonox, not polymer, not recycled plastic. Manta Ray, at least in this variation, stainless steel 316L. Now this one is, I want to say the X2.2134. Is it here on the back? They could do a better job labeling these. I've always said that. But other variations might have it. There's a Carbonox case version of the Manta Ray. The X2.2132 has a rubber strap, so it's not the stainless steel mesh. So you're going to see different variations of the Manta Ray, as you do see with most of the Luminox pieces. As I said in another Luminox review, their design language, this is another case in point, is on point. Luminox is not messing around. They are coming out with vibrant, interesting, different designs that, while still holding true to their Luminox brand, they're cutting and breaking new ground. Unlike some other brands, I'll mention again, Marathon. Way overpriced. I have seen no Marathon watch I would put on my wrist. I'm just being honest with you guys. Back to the Manta Ray. Fantastic. Fantastic. For the price, again, you might be tempted to think it's a fake. It's not. It's genuine. And the places I take you, like Ashford.com, you may be wondering, how is it so low price? Because everywhere else I go, this watch is like $300, $250, $230. I think the answer is they have supply channels where they get their watches, where it's an overage and overstock, and the manufacturers, maybe the dealers, quietly sell them to these retailers, i.e. Ashford, sometimes Joma Shop, so they can move merchandise. Better to get some money out of it than none. And so these guys, not being a real authorized dealer, gray market, they'll sell it for super low prices. And yet they still come with a warranty card, by the way. In case you're wondering, they'll still be, the Luminox will still honor the warranty. Yeah, low price. Let's get to the details. I got to get going. Another SF. I've got 2 more reviews after this one to do. One thing you might criticize on the Manta Ray series by Luminox is that it has less water resistance. 100 versus 200 water resistance, and you don't have a screw-in crown. So that is somewhat of a disadvantage. Crown protectors on this, that's very nice. Nice knurling on the crown. Nice, but I don't think most of you guys would ever need that level of water resistance anyhow. To be completely honest, you won't need it. Ronda 515 quartz movement in this one. Love-hate relationship. The hate portion is, if you're not careful, you can ruin the movement during a battery change. The upside, it lasts longer with a battery than do perhaps a Miyota's. There you go. Let's talk about the dimensions of this. 45.4 across, not counting the crown or its protectors. Only 12.5 millimeters in thickness on the Luminox Manta Ray, 51 millimeters across, and this has a strange 23 millimeter lug spacing. Can I source 23 millimeter replacement NATO straps, Zulu straps, leather watch bands? The answer is yes. They do make them, and they're not super rare, so you can. However, this stainless steel mesh bracelet makes such an interesting design statement. I recommend you do not take it off. And this is coming from someone who doesn't really like metal bracelets. I ain't gonna lie. I don't really like them. But this one I do, and stainless steel mesh is one of the better variations of it because it breathes very well, it's very comfortable, and it doesn't grab my hair. Maybe your mileage may vary. I always forget to show you the watch on my ugly wrist. I won't do that this time. Here's this Manta Ray version on mine. 7.5-inch wrist. Man, that's a good looking watch. And it's just different. It's just a different, funner, exuberant Luminox. It's so different from the other watches because of the stainless steel. So normally we're monochromatic with the Luminox, right? Very military, very tactical, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all love that. But in your watch collection, in your knife collection, you should vary things. And so you have different pieces to suit your different moods, maybe your different dress styles. That's what I do. I just recommend you do it as well. So very fun. 26mm effective face. That's pretty standard for a Luminox. That's the area the hands have to move around with. And blue variation in this one. I really love that blue. We have military time in red on the inner dial. That is fantastic. Positive display date in the Ronda 515 movement. 100-meter water resistant, Swiss made at the bottom. I don't think this is entirely Swiss made, but it meets the legal qualification and definition of Swiss made. That's why they put it on there. Very nice green outlined Luminox logo there. And the illumination on this negative is a little bit reduced. You don't have a ton of tritium tubes in there. And for once, I remembered to bring my UV light. We'll take a look at it right here, right now. Super high production quality as always. Now what this will show you is where the tritium tubes are. Like if I remove this and you look at it, you can still see it, but it's dimmer. Big old pip there at the top, but that's not tritium, that's just glow in the dark, that on the bezel there. So it's, I don't even think this is T25 level of illumination on the Manta Ray, it's less. But there's other Luminox pieces I have that have the same level, and I get by with them. And keep in mind, I'm a weirdo. I actually wear my Apple Watch on my off side. I've been doing that for years. No apologies. I'll continue to do that. Have an illuminated watch all the time that has all this valuable information. And by the way, I just upgraded, excuse me, I upgraded my OS on the Apple Watch, and it's pretty incredible. Has a bunch of new features. Really easy to do a GMT dial on it now, for instance. Back to this one, we have a gray seconds hand. I wish that was red. I like pops of color on my face. I think you guys would agree. Let's check out that bezel, shall we, on the Manta Ray. Pause video, buy it. I'm pretty harsh when I rate a bezel. I'm going to rate this one 3.5 out of 5. A little bit of backlash. I might go 4. 4 out of 5 is pretty darn good. Really nice traction on the bezel. Clear markings, albeit they are subdued. You might be tempted with fingernail polish. Tape this crystal portion first and painter's tape. Fill it in from 0 to 15. I think Luminox should have done that, just like they did with this variation. That's useful. It just really depends on what aesthetic you want to go for. If you want to go for something more subdued, leave it as is. Yep, here's the case back on this one. Pretty bland. You have the Luminox logo. And this is wearing a mineral crystal, if I have not said so. It's not even sapphire coated. A little bit of a downside. It's kind of quirky. I know. You would think like Luminox is like, we're going to put a sapphire crystal in every watch. They don't do that. Sometimes, like in this Navy SEAL version, they just sapphire coated the crystal. This is not pure sapphire. It's sapphire coated. Great watch. I love this watch. 200-meter water resistance. This is a true military watch. Yeah, sapphire coated. Yeah, the Manta Ray is a hard recommend. It is absolutely fantastic. Really fun, and it's really interesting with its bright stainless steel case. Right? Let me know in comment if you agree or disagree. Maybe you hate this watch. I can't imagine why you would. But I love it. The only downsides I would say to this watch is it just doesn't have a ton of tritium in it, and it doesn't have a screw-in crown. I don't really care if it has a mineral crystal. I put a crystal protector on that. That's easy. 5.2 ounces, by the way, if I did not say so. Oh, and I forgot to cover this. The stainless steel bracelet. It's a double clasp, infinitely adjustable. as you put it in through here, so you can adjust it exactly. That's another reason I like this bracelet. It's fantastic that way, that you can just adjust it and size it up as you need to. One reason I don't like stainless steel bracelets is because your wrist is swelling, contracting all day long, and so it's harder to adjust it. But when you have an infinitely adjustable bracelet like this, much easier to do, right? Luminox logo here. That is a nice bracelet. I would not take it off. I would not. Highly, highly recommended. Competitive options are numerous, but for the price, less so. So we're looking at around 180 bucks for this, for a Swiss-made tritium-powered watch, albeit quartz. Good luck. Good luck. Like I said in another review, the Isobrights Armor Lights, they've gone way up. They're like $450 now. Same movement. It's still a Ronda 515 quartz. Now this one I think was expensive. I think this Navy SEAL one, I want to say it was around $325 for that one. So my point is, it's a great deal. Before I go, this is a super cool starship. I think it's from the new universe of Star Wars. I still like it. This is the Fang Fighter Starfighter class from the Mandalorian. Really sick though. Really sick. Then we have the Kaiser Begleiter knife. Speaking of your knife collection, another great knife. I did gem this myself. Classically styled. This is new and pristine because I keep it in the studio recommending it. So I haven't put it into rotation, because if I put it into rotation, it won't be here in studio. If you ever wonder about that, that's why. And we're done. Thanks so much. Make sure you become a donor. Stay there for the rest of your life. Watches are fun. In this clown world, it's a great way to vary things. And even when you travel, you can take 5, 6 watches, especially lightweight ones with you. And it is really fun changing them out.